Hi, I'm Lee, and this is my mind-sucking octopus. Imagine what it would be like to be so deeply in trance, and to imagine that on the surface of your mind I've placed this octopus. It's shiny and silver, so it's easy to look at right now. But can you imagine just what it might be like to have this little creature sitting on top of your mind, gently opening it up in all those ways that let my words and my voice simply slide in so very easily? Do you think you'd feel it? Or would you simply notice the changes? Or perhaps you wouldn't notice the changes at all, would you? Other people might. And eventually you might know that you're doing things differently than you were before. But this little thing right there, that little octopus, can just sit on top of your brain, and you can be completely unaware that it's there. So as it glistens in your eyes right now, as you follow it so very easily, think about what that's like to know that I've placed a mind-sucking octopus on top of your brain. Perhaps it reaches in on occasion and does something nice for you. Gives you a little mind massage. Turns on and off the switches in your brain, which make you feel really good when you hear my voice. But as you look at this little octopus on my little ring on my finger, you can imagine the power that comes with wearing it, can't you? You can imagine what that's like to know that I have the octopus right here, and yet the same one is on your brain. So what if I whisper to this octopus? What do you feel? What do you know? What does your mind begin to do? And how good is it for you to let this octopus and my voice and my words into your head? Go ahead and think about that for a moment as that octopus just appears there. They're very clingy, you know, octopi. And if I say deep sleep, can you imagine it just making it work for you? Can you imagine what that's like? To imagine yourself deeply in trance. Can you feel that way right now? If I were looking at you and you were deeply in trance, what would you look like? Go ahead and sink and drop down now as you find yourself thinking about that octopus, my mind-sucking octopus on top of you. For you to drop and sink down more and more deeply too. For you to think about now and then forget thinking about later, forget knowing about later, remembering only that the idea sounds really fascinating, that there's this mind-sucking octopus on top of your head, and maybe the combination of the shiny silver and my voice And the thought that maybe a mind-sucking octopus would be an interesting thing to think about happening lures you back. So find yourself right now, paying less and less attention to my voice on any sort of conscious level. Perhaps consciously all you're aware of is the shiny silver octopus, the blue of the ring, the green of my nails, the sound of my voice, but the content, not really so much. And as that combination of things happens, as you let yourself go, captivated by the shine and the green and the blue and the sound, find yourself dropping down so much more deeply in trance. Feel yourself absolutely giving in a way that lets your mind relax and lets this octopi's tentacles simply sink in deeper, more completely, more fully, opening you up, feeling how good it is for you to find yourself so very open. The more open you find yourself, the more open to my voice, the more open to my words, the more open you are to let my voice and my words in, the more open you become, the more vulnerable, the more transparent, the more you need to let those things deeply inside your mind come out into the light. We all have things we'd like to share, don't we? We all have things we're afraid to share. And as your mind opens up a little bit wider and a little bit wider still, find yourself in that state of becoming a little more open. And as you give into that, let one little thing that you've been unable or unwilling to share before, simply need to come into the light, simply need to find itself heard. Let your unconscious mind help that process. Perhaps the suction of the tentacles, those little cups on there, helps bring it out. And maybe there's something about that, knowing that you have both internal and external encouragement to let that happen, makes it happen just a little more easily. So as you drop deeper still, as you sink in more thoroughly, as you enjoy yourself more than you expected, go ahead and drop down now and sink, giving in more and more. Feel yourself feeling lighter and freer as you give in to being open to letting my voice flow through your mind. It's pretty blue, isn't it? And then as you drop down more, know that every time you drop down from now on, every time you hear my voice and go into trance, you can go even more deeply than the time before. You can go even more deeply than the time before, as your unconscious mind simply learns how to make that happen Notice it clicking in for you. Feel how good it is as it clicks in for you. And then, on the count of 10, find yourself coming back, wide awake, all the way, alert, refreshed, feeling so great, like you got a mind massage. Remembering, or perhaps only remembering on that unconscious level, where that octopus actually is, and thinking about, on that unconscious level, what I might whisper to it next. So go ahead and drop and sink down now. Deeper and deeper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Wide awake. The mind-sucking octopus and I say, we'll see you later. And we look forward to your comments about whatever happened to come up.